The wind carried dust through the streets of Willow Creek, a small frontier town tucked between endless grasslands and rugged mountains. Wooden buildings lined the single main road, horses stood tied outside the saloon, and the blacksmith's hammer rang like a church bell across the valley. Ethan Walker had lived there all his life. At 33, he owned the town's general store after inheriting it from his father. Honest, hard-working, and respected, Ethan had everything a man could need, except a family. Every morning at exactly 8, the little brass bell above the shop door chimed. And every morning, she walked in. Clara Bennett. She wasn't the prettiest woman in town, at least according to those who only noticed appearances. Her dresses were simple, her hands rough from helping on her late father's ranch, and she never wore expensive jewelry. But she had kind gray eyes, eyes that smiled before her lips ever did. For nearly 6 years, Clara visited Ethan's store almost every day. Some days she bought flour, other days coffee, sometimes nothing at all except a conversation. The entire town believed they would eventually marry. Everyone except them. Morning, Ethan. Morning, Clara. Coffee still too expensive? You keep buying it anyway. It tastes better when you're the one measuring it. She would grin. He would laugh. Then she'd leave. That was their routine. Day after day, year after year. Old Martha, who owned the bakery next door, often shook her head. You two are hopeless. What do you mean? Ethan asked. You look at each other like newlyweds, but talk like strangers. Ethan chuckled. We're just friends. Martha laughed so hard flour covered her apron. Only fools call love friendship. One autumn afternoon, a traveling salesman entered the store while Clara was browsing fabric. The man glanced at her. Your wife has excellent taste. Ethan nearly dropped a sack of beans. Oh, she's not my wife. Clara quietly looked away. The salesman smiled awkwardly. My mistake. For just a second, the room felt strangely empty. Winter arrived early that year. Snow covered the streets, and business slowed. Clara continued coming every morning despite the freezing weather. Sometimes she stayed almost an hour. She helped organize shelves, folded blankets, counted canned goods. She never asked for payment. I had nothing better to do, she'd always say. But Ethan secretly looked forward to every visit. He simply never admitted why. One evening after closing, Sheriff Dawson joined Ethan on the porch. You ever planning on marrying? Ethan shrugged. Maybe someday. Sheriff Dawson pointed across the street. Then you'd better stop waiting. For what? For someone else to ask Clara. Ethan laughed. Nobody's asking Clara. The sheriff smiled knowingly. You'd be surprised. Spring brought new settlers. Among them was Daniel Harper, young, well-dressed, confident. Within weeks he began visiting Clara's ranch. The town noticed immediately. So did Ethan. Whenever Daniel entered the general store, Ethan found himself becoming strangely irritated. He couldn't explain it. One afternoon, Daniel purchased a silver necklace. Ethan wrapped it carefully. Special occasion? Daniel smiled. Maybe. For someone special? I certainly hope so. Ethan forced a smile. Good luck. But after Daniel left, the smile disappeared. That evening, Ethan couldn't sleep. Why did it bother him? Why did the thought of Clara wearing another man's gift make his chest feel heavy? He told himself it wasn't jealousy. It couldn't be. Could it? Days later, Clara entered the store wearing the silver necklace. It suits you. Ethan said quietly. "Thank you." "Daniel gave it to you?" She nodded. He said it reminded him of moonlight. Silence filled the room. Finally, Ethan forced another smile. "He has good taste." She studied his face. "You don't sound convinced." "I'm happy for you." She smiled. But it wasn't the same smile. Summer brought the annual Frontier Fair. The entire county gathered: horse races, music, dancing, pie contests, children chasing balloons. The town square overflowed with laughter. Ethan spent the afternoon helping organize supplies. As evening approached, he spotted Clara sitting alone near the river. He walked over. "You hiding from the crowd?" She smiled softly. "Just enjoying the quiet." He sat beside her. For several minutes, neither spoke. Finally, Ethan joked, "At this rate." She looked at him. "You'll never get married." He laughed. "You've turned down half the county." She stared at the water. Then, almost in a whisper, "Only if you ask me." Before Ethan could process the words, she stood, smiled sadly, and walked away. He remained frozen. The laughter from the fair faded into distant echoes. Her words replayed endlessly. "Only if you ask me. Only if you ask me." How had he never seen it? Every morning, every smile, every unnecessary visit, every cup of coffee, every folded blanket, every conversation. She hadn't been waiting for a marriage, she'd been waiting for him. Ethan raced toward the fairgrounds. She wasn't there. He searched the church. Nothing. The bakery. Nothing. The riverbank. Empty. Finally, he rode to her ranch. The house was dark. A neighbor waved. "Looking for Clara?" "Yes." She left before sunset. "Where?" "Heading west." "West?" Her uncle wrote from Oregon. Said she'd always have a place there. Ethan's heart stopped. "When?" "This evening." Without another word, he saddled his fastest horse. The moon rose high over the prairie. Miles of empty trail stretched ahead. Every minute mattered. He rode through the night, across rivers, over hills, through cold mountain winds. He refused to stop. Not now. Not after wasting 6 years. Near sunrise, he spotted a wagon. One horse, one driver, one woman. "Clara." She turned. Her eyes widened. Ethan jumped from his horse before it fully stopped. Breathing hard, he walked toward her. "I almost lost you." She smiled gently. "You never had me." "I know." Silence. The morning breeze rustled the tall grass. "I've been the biggest fool in Willow Creek." She said nothing. "I thought friendship was enough." "It wasn't." "I know. I waited." "I know. I was afraid." "I know." "You knew." She laughed through tears. "Ethan." Everyone knew. He couldn't help smiling. Then he reached into his pocket. There was no expensive ring, no diamonds, only a simple silver band he'd purchased months ago, without ever understanding why. He held it out. "I don't have a perfect speech." She wiped her eyes. "You never did." "I can't promise riches. I don't need them. I can't promise life will be easy." "I know. But I can promise every sunrise will find me grateful you're beside me." Her tears fell freely. "So," he swallowed. "Clara Bennett." "Yes." "Will you marry me?" She laughed, the happiest laugh he'd ever heard. "I told you already." He blinked. "What?" "Only if you ask me." She stepped forward. "Yes." 3 months later, the little church in Willow Creek overflowed. Even people from neighboring towns attended. Old Martha cried before the ceremony even started. Sheriff Dawson smiled proudly. "I told him." "You certainly did," Martha laughed. The preacher asked if anyone objected. No one spoke, because no one could. Some stories were simply meant to end this way. Years passed. The general store became larger. Children's laughter echoed through its aisles. 3 little boys often chased one another between flour sacks, while a little girl insisted on helping organize candy jars. Every morning, just as before, the little brass bell above the door rang. Only now Clara no longer walked in as a customer. She walked in carrying fresh coffee for her husband. Sometimes Ethan still teased her. "You know," she raised an eyebrow. "What?" "At this rate," she smiled before he finished, "I'll never get married." He laughed. "No, I already married the only woman worth waiting for." She squeezed his hand. "And you finally asked." Outside, the frontier town continued changing. Railroads arrived, new families settled, old buildings disappeared. But one story remained part of Willow Creek's history. Not because it was dramatic, not because it was tragic, but because it reminded everyone that sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand speeches. Sometimes it quietly waits across a store counter, morning after morning, year after year, hoping one simple question will finally be asked. The end.